Dr. De La Torre, do you have recognitions this evening?
President Woodruff, members of the board, at this time I'll turn it over to Patricia Ayala, our Chief Communications Officer, and she'll make the introductions.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent De La Torre. We have one recognition for you this evening. At this time, we ask that you please come to the front of the dais for the presentation. Tonight's recognition honors Ariel Washington Elementary School students Luna and Kyra Hawkes, two sisters united in their desire to make the world a little bit better by serving those in need, both in their campus and in the greater community. Earlier this year, Luna and Kyra learned of a wish list posted online by the Center Against Sexual and Family Violence, which was set to open a newly rebuilt shelter for about 200 families in need. The center's wish list included basic household goods like furniture, dishes, bedding, and appliances. Without hesitation, Luna and Kyra knew they wanted to help. They opened their hearts and wallets and donated $167 of their own money to buy bedding, high chairs, and shower curtains to help the shelter more comfortable for the families. Because Luna and Kyra are very aware of the needs of those around them, they also launched a special campaign to help fund student lunch accounts by placing a donation box in the school's main office. On another occasion, they noticed several students walking to school in cold weather without jackets. Within days, the sisters brought several new jackets to provide those students. They also regularly perform community service through their Girl Scout troop, participating in clothing drives for children in need, and placing U.S. flags at Fort Bliss Cemetery for the Memorial Day holiday. Kyra and Luna not only embody the district's values, but they routinely put them into action for the betterment of others. They are a wonderful example of the service excellence that we highlight at the district. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome this month's President's Award winners, Ariel Washington Elementary School students and sisters, Luna and Kyra Hawkes. Luna and Kyra are accompanied by Counselor Mr. Gabriel Medrano and Principal Mauricio Cano. Let's hear it one more time for the Hawkes sisters. Our partner of the month, Marathon Petroleum, was unable to attend tonight's board meeting, but they will be recognized at a future date. This concludes our recognition for this evening. Thank you.
Secretary Rosales, do we have requests for citizens' input?
Yes, we do, Chairman. We have 3 individuals, Dr. Ana Perez, Mr. Mike Montes, and Carlos Garcia. And we'll begin with Dr. Ana Perez. Thank you.
Do we have the slide to put up? And I think you, good evening, Board and President and Superintendent. We do have a very short presentation. I think you do have a copy on your dais. As the president of the SLEDA Education Foundation, which has been in existence over 25 years, we simply want to give you a short update. On the Jinkers for Scholars, for 2017 and 18, we had employee participation of 3,311 employees and 1,065,550 estimated pledges. For 18 and 19, which is this year, we have 3,258 employees with 162,900 estimated pledge. So as you can see, that's participation from the employees is about 50% that have pledged to Jinkers this year. Now, we also do fundraisers. So actually what we gave in awards for 2017, we gave out to 129 students and a total of $306,400. And for 2018, we awarded 100 students a total of $303,600. Now, this year's top 5 schools, as you can see, are all elementary schools. You know, the elementary teachers have a big heart. And so we want to share that with you. We will be sending to the principals all of the data for all of the schools. And of course, you will also have that. You can also see it by the professional learning communities. And you can see that we have them ranked from the top to the bottom there in terms of participation of employees. So that gives you that opportunity to maybe talk to the principals in your professional learning community and encourage them in that way. Kudos, of course, need to be given to those top 5, and they can each, again, see how they're doing. In the categories of the YEF scholarships, we have 3 categories: overcoming life challenges, community service, and academic. And please remember that for the community service and the overcoming life challenges, they do not need to be in the top tiers of academics. That's what is different about the SLEDA Education Foundation. In 2018, you can see that we had 420 applications that were completed, and we had 262 students that actually applied. This year, for working for the class of 2019, right now, we have 1,056 applications that have opened up, and that means 379 students. But don't get too excited. If you'll notice, it means 0, that there is 0 submitted. In other words, they've gone online, because they are online. They've started the process. The hardest thing that we face is for them to complete that process. Completed. So what we would like again here is for not only you as the board members, the administrators, to encourage the students to continue that application process, but also to let them know, you know, they have till January the 31st. We started earlier this year. We actually released it in October. They have till January the 31st. But in 2018, if I just can point out, we had over 1,000 applications. It was actually 1,005 that were opened up, but only, you can see, 416 students applied, and then we had 262 that actually finished everything. So the students start strong. They do need encouragement. They do need to be encouraged to follow through, and we want more students to apply. In other words, not just have a student apply for all 3 categories, but that they really focus and hone in on the one that they think really pertains to them, and that they give it their all, that there is nothing wrong with them working on their essay, asking someone to read it, to give them input. They have the opportunity to edit and to revise their essay, because that's one of the strongest parts that is scored. If there is any way that we can help the students, we want to do that. The awarding will be done on April the 5th, so please put that date on your calendar as we go to each of the high schools to award the scholarships. And if anyone has any questions or they need extra assistance, they can certainly contact our coordinator of the scholarships, which is Elizabeth Dodd. Would you please stand? And she can be contacted here at the Ysleta School District. Our Vice President for Public Relations, Marcella Van Hoove, is here with us also tonight. Would you please stand? And our other board members were unable to be here tonight, but we are a working board, and this is all that we work towards, is to be able to give scholarships to students graduating each year from the Ysleta Independent School District. Thank you very much. And we have over, our data really shows that less than 10% of the students that are in that year's graduating class apply for the YEF scholarships. We'd like to increase that also. So thank you very much for your time, and encourage those students to complete those applications. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Chairman, next on the agenda is the gentleman, Mike Montes, that will be addressing the Bond Project 05, as well as Mr. Garcia, also addressing Bond Project 5. Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Dr. De La Torre, President Woodruff, and members of the board. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the Vice President for Urban Associates. We're the general contractor on the new Bel Air Middle School. And I'm here to talk about the item in the agenda regarding the action that the board's supposed to take today regarding that project. I just wanted to start off by saying that we've been working in good faith with this district to make sure that we get the school open on time, which we did. And the school has been open since the first day of school, so the owner has had beneficial occupancy of the property since then. We did experience a lot of delays for which we have little compensation in time for. We've had like approximately $1.6 million in changes, and we've only been given like approximately nine days time extension. And I gotta apologize because I just found out about this meeting a few hours ago, so I didn't have that much time to prepare and get exactly all the facts straight here. What I like to kind of give as an example, like I said, I didn't have much time to prepare all the documents, but we've had several delays, and it just, in this little period of time that I have to prepare for the meeting, I just want to give one big example would be the baseball field. Okay, we started constructing the baseball field in February of this year, and we were stopped because they made a change. They decided to change the baseball field into a softball field. Okay, we didn't get the direction to proceed with the changes until July 11th. Okay, that was after the date of substantial completion. At present, that's where we have the majority of the work right now is the baseball field, and right now we're very close to finishing the project. I think we're about a month away from completing the project, and so we're asking the school district. We've been working in good faith. We've turned over. We spent hundreds and thousands of dollars in temporary fencing and controls, security guards. Everything that we had to do to make sure that we got the school open in time. And I think part of the delays, I think, or most of the delays had to do with delays in all the changes that we experienced throughout the project. So we're asking the school district for consideration, and we just let us finish the job. We're almost there, and we really do want to finish the job. Michael.
Good evening, members of the board, President Woodruff, Dr. Delatorre. My name is Michael Montes, President of Urban Associates. Again, also, I've only had 2 hours to prepare for this, so I apologize. I would love the opportunity to be able to give you our side of the story. Like Carlos mentioned, we have been working in good faith with the school district to get this school open. We were told, you're not going to have the school open. I guarantee you, there's no way you can finish this school. That was in August. We're 8 weeks away. You're not going to finish the school. We got the school open. The kids were in the school. Okay? We received a letter from you guys asking us to do extraordinary measures to get this school completed. And that's what we've done. We have, personally, outside of the contract, we've spent $500,000 additional labor, materials, hiring extra subcontractors, overtime. That's $500,000 that's coming out of our bottom line. I mean, this already, there's no way, this is gonna be we're gonna lose a lot of money on this project. As a hard bid project, you know, this isn't a CM at risk project, this is a hard bid project. So we're bound in a way to use the lowest bidders. And sometimes we end up with contractors that aren't the cream of the crop. So we have to work through it and do the best we can. But again, I'm not making excuses. We've had delays, but we can finish this project. You told us we couldn't get you in the school. We got you in the school. The kids are going on break. I guarantee you we will have this school finished by the time those kids are back. If you go to the bonding company, you're going to be delayed months. So I implore you, do what, you know, we're a local contractor. We have a bunch of local subcontractors that we're using. You guys are holding $2.6 million on us. $660,000 of the changes that Carlos talked about, we've already done the work and haven't been paid for it. Do you know how hard it is to motivate subcontractors to do work and to be out there when we don't get paid? We've been asking and asking to get these changes processed, and nothing happens. $660,000 of work we've done and haven't been paid for. These are above and beyond the contract. So I implore you, we've been working with you in good faith, being told, get the school open and then we'll move on. And we've been doing that, working around. Now that the school's open, our productivity's dropped like 75% because there's kids everywhere. And that's, you know, I know you do projects that are open with kids, but that's not what this project originally was scheduled for. We bent over backwards to get the school open, and now, of course, the productivity goes down because we're trying to work around and work in good faith with you guys to finish the work. We can get this project done, I promise you. Give us the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Montes and Mr. Garcia.
The order of business shall be as set out in this posted agenda unless changed by consensus of the board. During the board workshop, administration pulled consent item number 4 for separate consideration. Are there any items you'd like to pull off the consent agenda for a separate vote? Thank you. The agenda will be considered the consensus of the board. Dr. Delatorre, do you have a report for us this afternoon?
Just very briefly, all of our pre-K elementary schools and principals will soon be distributing Christmas gifts to their neediest students thanks to our Giving Tree program here at the central office. I'm pleased to report that all 192 children will receive gifts that they outlined, and that many of them will have a fulfilling Christmas. I want to thank the trustees and the employees for their generosity, compassion, and goodness in providing these gifts for our students. Last month, we were asked and agreed to join with Senator Jose Rodriguez for a special Wish Upon a Holiday project that will provide handmade Christmas cards to children being held at the Tornillo Detention Center. This morning, it was our honor to deliver hundreds of Christmas cards created by our elementary, middle, and high school students to Senator Rodriguez's office that will ensure that cards are delivered to the detention center. We'd like to thank schools, teachers, and staff district-wide who participated in this project in order to lift the spirits of those separated from their families this Christmas. I'd also like to inform the board that on Monday, due to the generosity of Buford Thompson Construction, who donated $1,000 and allowed us to select families who would really benefit from that donation, we will be traveling to visit 2 separate families and providing them with approximately $500 each in gifts and other things that our staff indicated and our faculty indicated that the family really needs because of their recessed economic condition, and that should help them get through the holidays. And then last of all, our last day before we celebrate the holiday season is Thursday, December 20th, and we will be back again Tuesday, January 8th, with a brand new middle school. Del Valle Middle School will open January 8th. We'd like to wish everyone a safe, joyous, and restful holiday season with families and loved ones. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Delatorre. The order of the agenda has been approved. May I have an electronic motion and second on the remaining consent agenda items listed on this agenda as recommended by administration?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the remaining consent agenda items listed on the agenda as recommended by the administration.
We have a second by Mr. Rosales. That's approved 6-0. So pull for separate consideration is consent agenda item number 4, approval of award of YISD contract number 201-90108 with University of Texas at El Paso. Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? If no further discussion, may I have a motion?
Madam President, I move to approve award of YISD contract number 201-90108 interlocal agreement with the University of Texas at El Paso, UTEP, and with El Paso Community College, EPCC, to establish a partnership with UTEP, enabling eligible Del Valle High School students to take upper-level College of Business courses while still in high school during the period of January 1st, 2019 to May 31st, 2025 for an approximate maximum amount of $10,000 per year from local funds and contingent upon final negotiations and in-house council review, including a finding that such limited expenditure promotes a district educational purpose and there are adequate district controls over the use of funds as recommended by the administration.
We have a second by Mr. Rosales. We have 5 yeses and 1 abstention, and so that's approved. Moving on to our policy action items. Policy action item number 1, policy CH local purchasing and acquisition. Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? If not, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to approve a set of specific language revising policy CH local purchasing and acquisition as shown in the board book attachments as recommended by the administration.
We have a second by Mr. Rosales. This is approved 6-0. Moving on to action items. Action item number 1, designation of filing authority in board election. Is there any discussion? If so, use your electronic hand. If not, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the designation and delegation of the duties of filing authority under the Texas Education Code to the Superintendent's Senior Executive Assistant, Monica Matheson, relating to the election for members of the Board of Trustees.
We have a second by Mr. Cudier. That's approved 6-0. Action item number 2, ratification of award of amendments number 1 and 2 to YISD contract number 201-70383 with Alvidres Architecture, Inc., Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? If not, I will make the motion. I move to ratify award of Amendments 1 and 2 to YISD Contract Number 201-70383 with Avidris Architecture, Inc. for the Bel Air High School Gymnasium Addition and Renovations Project, amending the scope of the project to be designed and increasing the fee earned by the architect based on cost of construction from bond funds and contingent upon final negotiations, in-house council review, and Form 1295 Certificate of Interested Parties as recommended by administration. We have a second by Mr. Rosales. This is approved 6-0. Action item number 3. Approval of award of YISD Cooperative Requisition Number 18834 for purchase or replacing the fire alarm at Hanks High School. Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? If not, may I have a motion?
Okay. I move to approve of the award of YSD Cooperative Requisition 18834 with Advanced Security Contractors, Inc. for the purchase and replacement of fire alarm at Hanks High School in the amount of $386,861.59 from the bond funds through a purchasing cooperative contingent upon Form 1295 Certificate of Interested Parties as recommended by the administration.
We have a second by Mr. Rosales. That's approved 6-0. Moving on to action item number 4, approval of award of cooperative requisition furniture. Is there any discussion? If not, may I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve award of YSD Cooperative Requisitions.
Mike, turn on your mic.
I start again. I move to approve award of YSD Cooperative Requisitions with Meteor Education for the purchase of furniture for Eastwood High School for a not to exceed amount of $544,336.91 from bond funds through a purchasing cooperative contingent upon Form 1295 Certificate of Interested Parties as recommended by administration.
We have a second by Mr. Kudir. That's approved 6-0. Action item number 5, engagement of legal counsel regarding construction, contract, and business matters excluding E-rate. Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to ratify engagement of law firm of Rogers, Morris, and Grover, LLP, to advise and represent district and board on as-needed basis regarding construction, contract, and business matters, excluding E-rate and financial bond counsel, commencing November 29th, 2018, from various district funds as recommended by the administration.
We have a second by Mr. Rosales. That's approved 6-0. The Board of Trustees has determined that a closed meeting of the Board of Trustees is required to discuss the items set forth in the posted agenda for this date. Such closed meeting is authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.001, including but not limited to the sections and purposes covered by the following section of the Texas Government Code: 551.071, 72, 73, 74, 76, 82, 821, 83, and 84. Should any final action, decision, or vote be required with regard to any matter considered in closed session, the final action, decision, or vote shall be an open meeting or at a subsequent public meeting with notice. The board will now move to the Rio Grande Room for closed session at 6:37 p.m.
Catherine's over. Jeez. Hey, where's Catherine's basket?
I took it. I took it to her office.
I had dibs on it. It's Christmas. I got a lot of kids. Ay, ay.
I reconvene this meeting at 7:38 with the following present: Carlos Bustillos, Richard Cuder, Sotero Ramirez, Cruz Ochoa, Mike Rosales, and myself, Connie Woodruff. Action item number 1, possible action regarding BP 05 New Bel Air Middle School project agreement dated December 15th, 2016 between Isleta Independent School District and Urban Associates, Inc. May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to authorize the superintendent at his discretion to take such actions as appropriate to complete BP 05 New Bel Air Middle School project, including but not limited to amending or terminating the contract with Urban Associates, Inc., asserting a claim against or negotiating an agreement with the surety, taking assignment of subcontracts, and contracting with supplemental or replacement contractors through any means allowed under Texas law in an amount not to exceed 25% of the original Urban Associates contract amount from 2015 bond or other district funds without further board approval during the period of December 12, 2018 through December 12, 2019, contingent upon legal review and receipt of Form 1295, Certificate of Interested Parties.
We have a second by Mr. Rosales. That's approved 6-0. Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Madam Chair, before we adjourn, I want to thank the staff of this great organization for all the work you do. Christmas is upon us, New Year's and what have you, but I want to thank you for your dedication, your superb teamwork, and we continue doing things that are marvelous for our community and for our kids. And I want to thank you personally for all that you do, day in and day out. Merry Christmas. I move to adjourn.
Thank you.
So make sure you take that with you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
You guys know